Karina, Kathy, how are you doing? Gary, we're going to wait for a little bit before we build up and everybody joins. Um, so, Rouser, I'm about to run downstairs and go and get a drink. Will you tell everybody, just you and Ann, will you tell everybody to just be patient while I am going to get a refreshment? I may have promised my partner a frosty dairy dessert tonight, so I may have to order that while we're talking. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. How is everybody doing tonight, by the way? Can everybody hear me okay? Perfect. Like I said, we're just going to give it a few minutes. Let everybody factor in before we start talking through tonight's evening edition. Hi, Terry. Gonna warn you, Terry. Might invite you in because I see you keep coming into the live and I keep meaning to pick on you, so I'm probably going to pick on you tonight. You've just been warned. Um, here we go. Hi, Gary. Hi, Enid. Um, Enid, you look new. I don't know that I've seen you before. This is your first time. Just relax. It's fun, I promise. Um, Hi, Gary. I think you're new, maybe. I don't know. Um, so introduce yourself to everyone that's here, because I don't know that we've talked before. So, and I usually have a pretty good memory. Oh, I've been up to Virginia Beach. That's a good time. And thank you for being a loyal follower. I try to um, reward my followers. I'm sorry, our followers whenever and wherever possible. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, Norfolk's a really good town. I've been there before. Certainly enjoyed it. Okay, so tonight for the evening edition, we're going to talk through the evening edition post, and then we may also talk through an additional post or take additional questions I always want to preface that with everybody so that they're aware. Um, let me bring up the chat. There we go. Um, and then let me get the window going. Uh, okay, so great. Does anybody have any questions before we begin? I will tell you that if you're actively watching the live and you want to raise your hand and you want to ask a question, if you want to come into the live to ask a question, just, like give me a couple of exclamation marks in the chat window, and I will gladly invite you into the live and you can ask whatever question you want. I tell everybody in all transparency, I'm a 52-year-old trans woman. I am a druid, and I do not believe in holding back. So if there's a question, literally any question it is, no matter what, I will answer the question as clearly and as succinctly as possible. Um, Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for joining. So let's give it like just maybe one more minute. I actually posted the time for the live at 8:15. Um, so here, I'm just going to do this. Oh, and there's Elaine. Of course, Elaine has joined. Now I have to behave, and I can't say bad shit because fucking Elaine just joined the live, and that's not allowed. So here, we're going to do this. Um, don't be bossing my ass around, Elaine. That won't end well. I'm a saucy bitch. That's how it is. Oh, okay. We're a little bit early, but I'm going to go on ahead and begin um, with the session. So, at the top of the evening edition is the news that, right, yeah, exactly, um, is the news that um, Ron DeSantis has come out and said, oh, yeah, Craig, it's always saucy bitch time. You see that? I do that for a reason. Um, Ron DeSantis has come out and said, in the most exploitive of ways that could be imagined, that he is going to deal with the immigrant purge that the immigrant purge that is going on in Florida because of the whole deportation thing, to remedy that fact and the fact that swaths of labor jobs are being vacated because of the loss of the workforce that's going around, immigrant circles because immigrants don't want to be deported, so they're not going to work. Um, DeSantis has now said that he's going to ease up the child labor laws so that a 14-year-old can work legally in the state of Florida. Let that sink in. A 14-year-old can basically pick fruit out in a fucking orange field um, legally to make up for the fact that migrant workers aren't working those aggregate. How many 14-year-olds do you think are going to be going out there to doing that shit? I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be any. So, and here's the thing: child labor violations have tripled. Lawmakers' callous fingerprints remain on bills that strip away those protections from large, and so the deafening silence for concern of these children contrasts sharply with the thundering rhetoric against immigrants who once filled those undesirable positions. So here's my question to you guys, and I want to know what you think about it. With all of the migrant workers that are leaving these jobs, how many people are actually going to step up to fill those positions? My belief and the research behind that belief suggests none. But if somebody has an opinion about that, please raise your hand and tell me that um, I'm full of shit and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because it's possible that I don't know what I'm talking about. But I don't believe, in all honesty, that, um, you know, right, yeah, right. What Craig said, MAGA kids, Dorothy, really, maybe? Um, here. Um, I'm just not sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't think that, you know, I don't even think MAGA kids who are guilted into, into, uh, you know, that working environment, I don't think they're going to do it. They're too fucking entitled. MAGA people are too entitled. It's all a crock of bullshit. Um, 100%. It's fucking bullshit. It just No, I don't think MAGA kids are going to step up to that plate, whether they're forced to or not. I don't think it's going to happen. So that means a large body of the functioning working force in the U.S. today has been reduced to nothing, and it's a vacuum because nobody is going to want to take those jobs. Um, yeah, Rouser, I completely agree. I mean, I have a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 19-year-old. I don't want those kids working those jobs. No fucking way. I mean, positionally, no. Yes. I mean, I would want to inspire work ethic, but at the same time, I would also want to inspire my kids to be responsible individuals. Um, and it really feels, um, you know, um, it really feels like that. Um, that's not going to happen. So, Denise Moore, if you're in the live, yes, I believe that you're right. Nobody's going to step up to do those jobs. Um, so here, let's. Um, Matt Gates. Matt Gates is suddenly working. I'm picking on you this time, Linda. So, um, you know, we're going to see. Um, no, I don't think they're going to work those jobs. Uh, they're too fucking self-entitled. They're too spoiled, and they're too any number of many different things that they could be doing. Um, that would mean they have. I mean, I don't think MAGA kids have any more work ethic than progressive kids. Actually, I think progressive kids have more work ethic um, than these MAGA idiots that are going around and saying all this shit. Um, you know, I really do. Um, well, Rouser, I agree. I want my kids to have skills, but that's the thing. My oldest, Alex, um, he's a mechanical genius. He takes shit apart and he puts it back together, and he does so um, in a very, there's a skill there. He's a burgeoning mechanical engineer. My middle child, Gizmo, um, you know, she's a brilliant socially conscious person. Gizmo, who has said she will come on the live and we can talk. Um, she is brilliantly socially aware, um, and she has a social understanding that, even to a larger extent, exceeds my own. Um, and so, versus my youngest child, hey Rick, um, Charlie, um, they have a boundless empathy, um, for other people. And that empathy translates into their ability to interact with other people. All my kids are very skillful kids, and I think they'll do very good professionally. Um, I would be a horrible mother if I didn't believe that. But I mean, I try to encourage my kids to be the best that they can be. Certainly, I would expect them to be better than me. Um, but I don't know, maybe somebody can agree or disagree with me on that. You want your kids to do better than you did. Um, isn't there an old adage that uh, you get you get twice as bad as you gave? Um, I think the inverse of that. I think my children are doubly, quadruply, or exponentially more capable of the things that I was capable of going into their adult lives. I would be a horrible parent if I believed otherwise. I would not be a good mother if I didn't encourage that. So, okay. So here we go. We're gonna talk about Signalgate again. Um, so they've been fighting over this shit all day today. Here's the thing. Drunk Seth. I'm not going to call him Heg Seth anymore. I'm officially going to refer to him as Drunk Seth because that's what the fuck he is. Um, so there's this argument about um, what is sensitive data and what isn't sensitive data. So Drunk Seth continues to say that in his communications, none of what he was saying was sensitive data. So he shared these fucking details. Um, so the first strike package of F-18s, um, the F-18 first strike window starts at a specific time. Um, more F-18s launched. The second strike package, he lists a time for that. Strike drones on target. This is when the first bombs will definitely drop, and he lists a time for that. And then the F-18 second strike starts. Um, um, and then the first sea-based Tomahawks were launched at this time. So the White House's defense um, is that's not sensitive data. I want to point out that Representative Hines has pointed out during their Congress sessions and interview sessions today that he felt like it was an act of God that that data was released, and yet no American lives were lost. Now, if Hegseth had said those things, and then um, if Hegseth had said those things, and then American lives were lost, we'd be having a whole separate fucking conversation. We would be talking about loss of American life because drunk Seth opened his goddamn mouth and got people killed. Yeah, that would be a separate. We'd be having an Oliver North conversation. Only it's not, Iran Contra or whatever that's happening. It's drunk Seth getting people killed because he's the defense secretary. It's fucking dumbass. He's a complete and total fucking dumbass. So the White House defense of this reeks of desperation, calling established reporting a hoax while frantically claiming that no classified information was compromised. The Atlantic publishes the screenshots. I publish the screenshots. I'm waiting for SEAL Team 6 to come to my house and arrest me. um, and there's very clearly classified data that is occurring in those messages. Um, and so, I mean, the Atlantic could smell it. I could smell it. The sickening crunch of security protocols being trampled underfoot echoes through those messages and makes everybody keenly aware of it. So here's the thing. If we're talking about when certain things are going to fly in the air and drop bombs on places on the ground, I hate using childhood, you know, shit here, but I hate using childhood hand signals. But if plane goes in the air and bombs drop, and you tell people when that is, that's sensitive data, right? I mean, I'm not crazy. Announcing when you're going to take military actions, that really should be data that not everybody reads, right? I mean, I'm not. I hope I'm not wrong about that, but I feel like that should be a thing that people keep under wraps. This isn't Roman area fighting where everybody lines up in a line on one side of the battlefield and then everybody starts running at each other at the same fucking time and nobody thinks about flanking and all that other bullshit. Back then it was just two rows of people that ran into each other and whoever won was whoever fucking won or whatever. I mean, um, um, I mean, that's crazy, right? Right. We should just publish it in the future. That's what we should. That's what we should do, right? Yeah, gladiator movies. Yeah, only in the difference to the gladiator movies, make sure that the chariots um, that you have don't have helium containers on them that fall off at the key moment in the movie where everybody sees it and then realizes that um, you know movies are fake. Wait, I'm not the only one who noticed that, right? In the Gladiator film with Russell Crowe, there was a key time where a helium container fell off of the chariot during one of the fight scenes. I'm surely Elaine. That's bad. No, there are people that haven't seen Airplane before. I'm sure, and no. Roger, Roger. What's the vector, Victor? Do we have clearance, Clarence? Have you ever spent time in a Turkish prison, Billy? Do you like grown men naked, Billy? Oh, I hate you, Elaine. I hate you. I'm not talking to you today. Wait, Amber, you've never watched the movie Airplane? Are you shitting me? Um, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Um, I just have to tell you that's fucked up. Um, okay. Don't call me Shirley. No, that's really bad. Don't do that. Hold on a second. Um, yeah, right. Newsmax. Don't even get me fucking started. Okay, so now I'm going to get to some good news. So I think the blue wave is starting. There's right, OANN. It's a conspiracy to undermine Republicans. Um, so uh, over the day past, um, Dan Guggenauer, who was a Democrat running against a Republican in Western Pennsylvania, and he ripped that victory away. The Republican was well funded. The Democrat, Dan Guggenauer, was unknown. Nobody knew who he was. And he uh, basically took that one seat majority um, in a 102 to 101 interim. Meanwhile, in Lancaster County, Democrat James Malone shocked everyone, clawing his way to a razor thin lead over Republican John Parsons by just over 400 votes. And yeah, Republicans are watching their traditional stronghold slip through their fingers because everybody's fucking pissed off at the Republicans. So there are seats that are going to Democrats that should go traditionally to Republicans. In the state of James Malone, um, that was a district that won Trump by 18 plus points. And yet, um, literally, a Democrat flipped it. Yeah, exactly, Craig. Um, exactly. Um, and all of this after, you know, arrogant fuckwad Donnie McShitsburger um, basically uh, um, you know, has scraped by as much as he has, um, but said he's won bigly and huge in Pennsylvania. Well, if he won so bigly and huge in Pennsylvania, then um, how did a Democrat seat go to a Democrat in that state? Um, just, you know, yeah, right. The, hair snoozing farting. Hey, Craig, I'm just going to tell you, I'm using that. I'm going to use that in my next article about Donald Trump. So I'm taking a picture. Here you go. Took a picture so I can remember to use that later. Because apparently, I have to tell you, by the way, somebody read one of my articles and they literally told me, Wendy, um, your your um, descriptives of Donald Trump rival uh, Jeff Tiedrick himself, and I was like, "Holy fucking shit, that's crazy to me." Um, yeah. Being told by one of Jeff Tiedrick's readers that my descriptions for, well, which one do you think is yours? I don't like thin mints. Thin mints are ass. You know what I would rather do than eat a thin mint? Okay. Yes, I want a spoon. My partner is not the most obvious person. um, right. Do you guys want to know what I would rather do than do something I don't like to do? I will tell you that if you say yes, you're not going to like the answer, but I will say it while my partner is sitting here because she will make a face at me and it'll be funny. So please, somebody say yes, Wendy. I want to know what you would do rather than doing something that you don't like to do. Oh, come on. There's got to be somebody that wants to know. All right, Amber, I'll tell you. No, I would rather lick a hooker's ass. Oh my God, Elaine.
Oh, so that's what gets me in here. Oh
I
my
didn't. I didn't even.
God.
I'm just gonna tell you. I didn't even have to say it. That literally Elaine. I'm talking to Kira when I say this. Literally Elaine says, "I don't want to hear about you licking some asshole of a local whore."
I just got back from a funeral a few hours ago. Probably be a little more serious than this. I've never been to a Jewish funeral before. It was
What?
very interesting.
You've never
Um,
been to a you've never been to a Jewish funeral before.
it was at the graveside, and it was. Um,
I'm sorry, Anne. I'm not into urine. I'm not into urine. I understand.
yeah, I have a pad here because I was dog sitting a week ago, so I have one of these I can throw your way. um, oh my gosh. No. Anyway, yeah. So I just got home from a funeral a few hours ago. My ex came over and I fed her dinner because I had cooked the other day and we hadn't finished it. And now I'm sitting here with the little evil one here.
I don't know. Mine's like roaming around somewhere. I don't know where mine is. He's hiding. I could make the sound and he would come maybe, but
Hmm.
I don't know if he came. I don't know that I'd want to watch that. I'm just gonna
All right,
say.
let's hear it. What is it that you won't? What is it that you won't that you won't do or will do or whatever it was?
So uh, my partner lovingly provided me with my frosty dairy dessert, and
Hmm.
uh, I ordered two of them. I ordered a regular frosty dairy dessert, and then the other frosty that I ordered was the bastardization of the frosty with the thin mint, the Girl Scout cookie thin mint ground up in it. And she's like, "Which one is yours?" And I'm like, "You should know because I don't eat thin mints. I would rather lick a hooker's ass than eat thin mint cookies because I think they're disgusting."
Well, they're not as bad as some, but I'm an oatmeal raisin gal myself.
No, see, I'm a peanut butter girl.
Oh, me too.
So Do-si-dos and the tag-along cookies, but not
Hmm.
anything else. No, I'm sorry.
Well, it's,
Anyway, I'm sorry. I had to drag you in because you literally hit that before I even had the opportunity to get it out of my fucking mouth.
I'm telling you, I
And I
think the
just,
more of them way back. Hmm.
Elaine, we are way too similar than we need to be.
I know. Well, hmm, no.
Oh, okay.
Well, I needed to laugh, so thank you.
You're very welcome. Hey, I will tell you while you're here. I don't know if you know, but so Trump announced a 25% tariff on all automobiles that are being imported from the U.S.
Hmm.
And so Mark Carney, the PM from Canada, continues to give Donald Trump the finger. Um, and so the he has Carney has turned around, um, and basically what he has done is he dropped a massive $2 billion response
Hmm.
that will shield Canadian auto workers from those tariffs
Okay.
and protect their interest. Um, and that resolve burns through every word. As Carney has declared, Canada will be there for its auto workers. So they're actually upping billions of dollars to cover the tariff funding that Trump has thrown onto the Canadians and um, other entities because Donald Trump thinks tariffing people is the way to solve problems.
Well, um, yeah. We all know
Despite,
Donald Trump is the big brain trust of the 2020s, right? I have my second oldest brother. I have not talked to him since the election,
right,
and my friend dropped dead, and I was like, okay, I'll 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 hold out the olive branch. You know what he told me? That bastard. I hate him. He sucks. I can't believe he's doing all this stupid shit. I'm like, now you're saying this shit? And then he kind of backtracked. Well, I think he's I think he's on the right track with Russia and Ukraine. And I'm like, why? But he's mad about the tariffs and the sanctions and all that kind of thing because he says they're going to be bad for the economy. But he's one of those libertarians. He thinks everything should be privatized. And I'm
Okay,
like, dude, you
here's
graduated from a public high school, 2 degrees from public colleges, spent your whole fucking life doing taxes for people. So participating in the tax system, and now all of a sudden you want to pull the ladder up for everybody else,
I
but it looks different now that he's on Social Security.
well, I that's the thing. I mean, from the larger the whole libertarian neocon thing, I don't
Hmm.
fucking get it.
Hmm.
Somebody's gonna. I'm about to, Rick. I'm just gonna warn you. I'm about to drag you in here because I want you to explain the neoconservative bullshit to me because I don't get it. Do
Hmm.
you understand it, Elaine?
No.
Neoconservatism and okay, right. So here we go. Let's have an education. Let's have
Okay.
an education session. Um, oh, here he comes. Right.
Uh, yeah. Why wouldn't he? 2 chicks at once? Are you kidding? Oh, jeez. Well, 3 if you count Castavet here.
Elaine, that's a really hairy pussy you have there in
I'm
your
telling you.
hand.
At least something in this. At least something in this house has hair that's not white, right?
No, right. I'm a
Oh,
horrible. I'm a horrible person.
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm just waiting on you, Rick. You're black there.
Yeah, conservative me.
You know. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna send you again, Rick. Hold on.
Mm.
I don't. There we go. So let's hit Rick again, because this is a time this is a time for explanation.
Oh, yeah. This one loves to have attention called to her. She's a little hellion. Come here. There you go. All right. Don't have to. Oh, now
Rick,
you're holding.
the internet hates you.
I'm telling you, I got this weird thing on my phone this morning. It was actually while I was calling my brother, and we talked for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden the call just disconnected, and I got this screen that said that my phone wasn't connected to a network,
Oh,
and so I restarted it, and I looked it up, and it said it could be a problem with the SIM card, but if it just happens once, it might just be a fluke. So anyway,
that's entire. I'm going to tell you that's entirely possible.
yes,
Yeah, as a technologist, I would tell you, yeah, that's entirely possible.
yes.
That's entirely possible. God, Rick, I really wanted you to jump on here. Um, sorry, I'm moving you guys around while I'm doing shit here.
Mm.
Um, so sorry, because the device that I'm streaming with is about to die. Yeah, gosh, Rick, I don't know. I mean, it might be me. Um, so anyway, well, Rick, if you could just give me like a 2 sentence definition for the difference between a neoconservative and a libertarian, I would really appreciate it. And if anybody knows, it's you, because it's not me. I don't fucking know the answer to that question. If I did know the answer to that question, I would surely I would answer it. Um, so yeah, I work in InfoSec. So here's the thing about that. Um, I at the end of the live, I will talk through a hack if everybody wants me to talk through it.
Mhm.
That I wrote back in 2007, which, by the way, it is a vulnerability that has never been patched. The vendor still um, is aware because I make them aware every year um, that it's a vulnerability, and they still refuse to fix it, and I think it's fucking funny. Um, so at the end of the session, I promise to give everybody info security talk a little bit. And Elaine, what I'll do is I'll bring you back in for that, and then you can
Oh, that's
laugh at
fine.
it.
Okay.
So yeah, here we go. All right, so Elaine, we're gonna give you a break for a second. So yeah, so Canada has put up a bunch of fucking money to save the auto workers in Canada from all of the fucking tariffs that Trump is trying to institute on. Right. Okay. So here we go. So libertarian, leave my wealth alone, but government is okay. Then neo-reactionary is all about demolishing the government altogether. Libertarians just want small government but don't care about destroying the government. Okay, that makes sense, Rick. That's sort of kind of what I understood, but I didn't want to be too obligatorily obvious to that effect. Okay, here we go. So, wait, libertarians are just conservatives with weed? I mean, okay, I get the weed part. I'm a neoliberal with weed. What does that make me? um, don't anybody answer. Don't anybody answer that question, please. I'm going to be very upset um, if you answer that. All right. So, drunk Seth. There's all this talk about um, signal. So this is where I'm going to be obvious to everybody. So I've suggested to people in this channel um, that uh, using Signal for your personal purposes is okay. And traditionally it is. I mean, in the way of security, secure protocol messaging, Signal is okay. Element, which is the app that is associated with the Matrix network, it's okay too. Um, but by no means am I saying that if you are a government official that you should be using Signal to communicate with other government officials. That's bullshit. Um, the government has secure methodologies for communicating with people um, that don't involve using a third-party app like Signal. You want to use Signal for yourself? Go right ahead. Um, so here's the thing about Signal. One of Signal's features is that you can nickname yourself. So when you look in your profile, you can pick a nickname for yourself that does not follow your phone number. And people in the Signal ecosystem space can reference your username rather than your phone number to get a hold of you. Um, at the same time, there is a feature in Signal that allows you to nickname other people that you're communicating with. So you open up a chat contact that you want to nickname, you tap on the person's profile picture, you click on the nickname button, and then write a descriptive nickname for that person that you can remember, like National Security Advisor, or some news guy that I don't want to talk to, or co-founder of some fucking company that I don't want to talk to. And those nicknames are end-to-end encrypted, and they're encrypted in transit, and they're only visible to you, so it's not like it changes it for the other person or whatever. So here's the thing about Signal. Here's where Signal will fuck you up because you believe this shit about it. Don't believe this shit about it, and it'll be okay. Signal cannot stop your sweaty fucking fingers from adding the wrong fucking number to a Signal chat. If you are that big of a dumbass, like Drunk Seth is, and you add the wrong fucking number and then you text somebody, it's your own fucking fault. Don't be stupid. The burning heat of end-to-end encryption turns to icy worthlessness when you when you invite a journalist into your war plans. You should know this already. I don't get why Drunk Seth doesn't understand this. Um, the other thing that Signal can't do is the grimy texture of consumer apps should never touch the skin of classified information ever. And here's why. especially from a presidential perspective, as much as from an FOIA perspective. Applications that destroy messages over time. You can tell Signal to delete messages after however many days or hours or whatever. Here's the problem with that. If you are a government entity, if you work for the government, you're a cabinet member, you're the president, you're the VP, there's a Freedom of Information and Privacy Act request that you can make to request information about the government. They won't always necessarily fill it, but there's a way to request that data. Here's the thing about FOIA. An app that destroys messages between government entities defies FOIA and is therefore federally illegal. It is a violation of federal law. Eat that up, dumbasses. How can you be that fucking stupid? I don't get it. Okay, so, and then there's the, as Craig has said, the nauseating reality is that proper threat modeling requires more brain cells than these officials apparently have. And the crushing weight of responsibility, which demands verification steps beyond what any app, Signal or otherwise, can give you. And I don't get why people are this stupid. Which causes the jarring slap of reality um, when it hits and you read it. While Signal security might be rock solid, it can't protect against raw, total, and complete human stupidity. Which, by the way, if nobody knows this, those are one of the three things that I can't stand. I cannot stand human bigotry. I cannot stand human intolerance. And last of all, I fucking hate human stupidity. If you do any of those three things, if you are bigoted towards somebody and I see it, we're gonna have problems. If you do something intolerant around me and I catch you doing it, we're gonna have problems. If you engage in outright and abject human stupidity, like there's a reason why you shouldn't have done something and you do it, like, oh, I don't know, walking over the cliffs of Dover. If you're that stupid, it's your own fault. You fucking did that, and you should suffer the goddamn consequences. Not on my ship. So there's no technology on this godforsaken planet that can save you when your brain short circuits and you do stupid shit. So if you do stupid shit, you should just take fucking responsibility for it and be done with it. And I just don't get why people don't get that. So that's the evening edition. So now, who wants to come into the live and talk to me about InfoSec shit? Because it'll be funny. I guarantee you. Here's my sign. Okay, well, Craig, I'm about to teach you something. So you should be keenly aware. You should be keenly aware of that. I'm about to teach you a very valuable piece of information. So whenever the one of the two invites I just sent out hits, then we'll talk about cool InfoSec shit. Because then I'm just gonna go grab a lane and we're gonna talk about shit. You guys kill me. No. We're not not talking about a hooker's ass. Yeah, we're not. We already talked about the hooker's ass. We're not going to talk about the other thing. Um, so no, I just. Oh my God, you joined! Great, cool.
Hi.
I've never actually talked to you before, but I repost your shit into our pub. So
I know. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated.
no, I look. I mean, my readers think that you're as brilliant as I am, or something.
Yay.
Now we're gonna go and get Elaine, and then we're gonna talk about weird, crazy infosec shit. So let me find her really quick, because she's fun. Here we go. There's Elaine. All right, so we'll bring Elaine back. Um, gosh, I didn't think you'd catch it. So
Just
I
good
like
timing.
your earrings, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, oh wait, Elaine, are you not gonna do it? Oh come on. Uh,
No.
No. Elaine is the fabulous lesbian. I definitely
Mhm.
want. I definitely want Elaine to come in here. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Here I
There we
am.
go. Yeah, there you go.
I
Okay.
came upstairs, so.
Oh, okay, right. All right. So, cool infosec shit. So, are either
Mhm.
of you satellite radio people?
Yeah.
So, but you understand what satellite radio is, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you have it in your car, and so
Yep.
way back, I learned a valuable lesson about the architecture of satellite radio. And so here's the deal: free satellite radio for 11 months and 2 weeks. So here's how you do it. Basically, you order as your service, and you wait 2 weeks. So there's 4 satellites that go around the Earth in a unidistant pattern or whatever. So um, this is going to involve architectural language, but it's funny, I promise. So after 2 weeks passes by, um, take your radios, uh, pop open the cases, and take the batteries out, and then wait for them to, like, the capacitors to drain all the way out, because capacitors keep charge going on in there or whatever, right? So after that's done, then take those radios and put them into an airtight container that is preferably lead shielded. And here's what happens: they sit in a box for a week, so it takes 3 weeks to do this. And then when you take the radios out of the box, put the batteries back in, put them back in your car, free service for 11 months and 2 weeks. Why is
Ooh.
that? Yes, why is that? So, and this works even today, still works today. Here's why. So, in a network, there are essentially two kinds of connections. There's a UDP connection and there's a TCP connection. So, TCP connections, like this live chat, there are two endpoints, and the two endpoints are talking to each other. So one acknowledges the other. So in network language, there's a SYN and an ACK, and a SYN and an ACK, and a SYN and an ACK over and over and over. SYN ACK, SYN SYN, SYN ACK, SYN SYN, whatever. Okay, so in a UDP broadcast scenario, UDP moves in a circle constantly, over and over and over and over again. There's no error checking. The packet goes all the way around, and it comes back. The packet goes all the way around, it comes back. All the way around, back. All the way around, back. All the way around, back. Over and over and over again. Nothing. There's no. Did it get there? I don't give a shit. If it didn't get there, I don't care. So, a TCP connection from a satellite is notoriously expensive. Back in the early 2000s, XM radio could only afford to do that 8 times, 2 times per satellite, and there were only 4 satellites in orbit at the time. So, if you canceled your service and you could block your radios from that stateful TCP connection, You take your radios out, you continue to receive broadcast over and over. Free service for 11 months. Now, you would be bound by understanding when you did that, because then you'd have to, 11 months and 1 week later, take your batteries back out, put it in the box, let it sit in the box for a week, and then take them back out, put the batteries back in, put them in the car. And then you'd have another free service for however the fuck long. Now,
Okay.
how did I figure this out? Uh, One of the things that I am notoriously good at, and I say notoriously good at, is pattern recognition. I detect patterns really well. No, I don't mean like A Beautiful Mind, Bill Nash, crazy patterns. This newspaper said that, and that newspaper said this, and that means that Russians are coming after us or anything. No, it's mathematical patterns. So I sat over and if there's any other network engineers that are in the chat, they will know what I'm talking about, a 985,000 packet PCAP dump, which was basically a communication analysis stream of data that came from a satellite. So after 2 months of looking through that, I saw the pattern because I saw what the disconnect looked like.
Cool.
And so after I detected that, yeah, the network engineer in me went off, and I said, "Oh, how can I stop this? I should just stop the connection from happening." Well,
Yeah.
how the fuck do you do that? Well, you need to use a RFID like blocking medium to stop that from happening. And so at the time, as it turned out, I had access to, I don't know what the fuck her problem is. Don't listen to her. She's playing Overwatch right now, and it's not good. If
No,
you hear
no.
my part, yes, if you hear my partner in the background and she's cussing up a storm and shit, it's because she's playing Overwatch and somebody's beating her ass. It's not me beating her ass, although I don't know if I like to do that or not. But anyway, so there's your simple network lesson. Yeah, if you can stop a connection from happening, invariably you can stop a behavior, and in that case, stopping that behavior causes you to have free satellite radio for a year. Now, here's the beauty about it. I have sent that proof of concept to XM Radio for years after. Well, then Sirius bought them, and it
Mhm.
kept working. So every year or two, I send the POC to Sirius, and they literally reply to me and they say, "No one's going to do this," and I'm like, "Hi, I'm a security engineer. I'm doing this. If I'm
Yeah.
doing it, other people are doing it because they figured it the fuck out. Because I'm not even that fucking smart."
Well,
And this is the info security person's mindset. When I look at something, like, I don't know, this controller, I think, what can this controller do? It can't do this. Why can't it do that, and how can I make it do that? That's the info security vulnerability mindset. Something doesn't behave a certain way. How can I make it behave that way?
so
There
in
you
other
go.
words, don't hand you any, newborn babies and oh, I think I'll take it apart and see how
No,
it
no,
works.
no. The arm doesn't bend
Oh.
this way. Can I bend it the other way? Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Here it leaks. Send it back. Yeah. It's defective.
So there you go. There's the education lesson for tonight. So,
Okay.
so Lisa, now I've got you in the live, and Elaine, who did not erroneously guess what I would do rather than something I don't want to do. I don't know if you were here for that earlier. Oh yes, my partner offered me something that I did not want to do, and I said I would rather do
Ooh.
something else, and then I let everybody guess what the something else was, and Elaine guessed it right off on the hitch. Um, was I would rather lick a hooker's ass.
I'm not very delicate.
So you can now ask any question you want, Lisa. Not that you haven't already asked me questions before, but in front of everybody, you can ask even the most embarrassing question, and I will answer.
Well, my first question is how long you've been on Substack, because I'm a total newbie. I'm still like figuring all this shit out.
So I've been doing it. We haven't talked about that actually. Miranda and I are going to have to sit down and have a talk. I've been on Substack. I've been on Substack probably a year.
Okay.
But then I started actively. So here's how it worked out. Back in like September, October, I started like writing,
Hmm.
and I mean, I had like 10 subs, 15 stubs, 20
Hmm.
subs, or whatever. Elaine, that's a really big hairy pussy you got there.
This is Jingle. He's
It's a
my old
beautiful
man.
pussy.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
That's a beautiful pussy.
He's a
Um,
good boy. He's
and
15
so,
years old and he
yeah, I
thinks he
just
owns the place. All right.
started
Go ahead.
writing shit. And I mean, from my perspective, I was screaming into the void. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I really was just, it was for my own mental health or whatever. And so,
Yes. The writing as copium. I get that. I'm
yeah,
with you
Mhm.
there.
100%. So then what happened was, so the Wonket people that Craig Nixon represents,
Hmm.
one of his writers, who is named Cryptdyke,
Oh, I
liked a
subscribe to
post.
her.
Yeah, a
Mhm.
Cryptdyke liked a post that I wrote. She was like, "Holy shit,
Yay.
you should do this.
Mhm.
Just keep doing it." And so
Right.
I was like, "Oh, okay. I mean,
That works. Sure.
okay. Because that's what happens when the nighttime hits or whatever.
Yep.
I get all pissed off. I'm reading some news shit. I get angry about it, and then I start writing about it, and then I
Yes.
have to do something with it. I can't. So I started putting it out there, and so then like I had like the first three or four that I put out there. She was like, "Okay, Wendy, I have a quibble. I have a quibble with shit that you've written." Okay, and so I
Alrighty.
learned. I learned from her. Uh, I learned from her how to approach you guys that read my shit, and take accountability. And so then I started doing that. Well, then 20 turned into 50, and 50 turned into 100,
Hmm.
and 100 turned into 200, and it just kept rolling downhill. Now I'm up to like almost 3,200 subs.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and so, so Justin, opinionated ogre, he
Hmm.
and I had a
Oh,
conversation one
yes.
time.
Yeah, I
I was
subscribe
like,
to him too.
yeah, he's a great guy.
Mhm.
If he ever comes into the live, I love him to death. He's an amazing person to talk to. But I literally went back and forth with him one day. I was like, Ogre, I don't think I'll ever get to where you are. All right? There's no way I'll end up with 9,000 subs or whatever. He's like, don't sell yourself short. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, I look where you are now versus where you like were before or whatever, and you're growing faster than I am. And I was like, oh.
It's impressive.
Really? I mean, I'm just not. And then, like 2 or 3 weeks after that, I had a conversation with Jeff Tiedrick. Jeff was like, "I really
Holy
like,
sh! That's
yeah,
cool. I'm
yeah.
impressed.
Oh, I'm jealous. Oh my
I,
gosh.
I,
That's friggin'
I like the
awesome.
way you." He like told me, he's like, "I like the way you write shit. You should
Cool.
keep doing it."
Mhm.
I'm like, "Okay, this is great." And then Scott Dorkin, every time I reply to Scott Dorkin shit, he's like, "Oh, you should just keep doing that." And so I'm like, "That's fucking affirmation right there." Um,
Totally.
you know, I, I, That's the other thing, popularity contest. So I like snipe my comments
Yes.
into their articles, like at the top, and then I get a shit ton of followers or whatever. And it's like, I mean, those people might not be paid subs, but
That is
from
a
my,
good strategy. That I've done that on the God's posts. I've done it on Jeff Tiedrich's posts. If
yeah,
you're on there, like right away and you come up with something that people are
Mhm.
drawn to, it's just like boom, it just explodes. It's
yeah.
great.
And so versus, I should say this also, it's kind of annoying from my perspective. But I don't get near enough external engagement as I do from within the Substack space. When I go to Blue
Yeah.
Sky and I post my shit on Blue Sky, I mean, I get engagement there. There's people that follow me, um, but it's, oh, Tatiana, you joined. Great, Tatiana. I just want to interject. Um, Tomorrow's live, I'm gonna bring you into the live so that you can talk. If you show up, Tatiana, so please try to show up tomorrow. Because I promised, I promised Tachi that I'd bring him in. But anyway, so
Well, you
yeah,
brought me to twice. Let me go and bring her in now. I mean, you know.
no, but you're my favorite lesbian.
At least I'm some woman's favorite. Jesus.
You know what? I'm not hard to please.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, okay. Oh, here's what we do. This is my third pussy.
Holy shit!
She's beautiful, isn't she? Yes, she is.
That's
She actually came
Yay.
from my
that's
friend,
pretty.
that whose funeral I was at today. He rescued her and her
Oh.
kittens, and I took her, and he rehomed the kittens with other people. But then
Mhm.
she scared the shit out of me about 2 years ago because I took her to the vet, and the crate fell apart in the parking lot. This was in
Right.
Ooh.
February. So she took off, went into the woods, and
Oh my God.
I had to hire a dog trapper, which she's like,
That's terrifying.
cats aren't really my thing, but we'll try this. It took us 5 nights, and I mean, was like being on a midnight, coon hunt or something. It was just
Yeah.
ridiculous, crawling through everything. And she finally got her, but it was scary. So now she doesn't even go. I mean, she's never been interested in going outside anyway. But now, if I open the front door, she's like, I
Hmm.
didn't like that.
Good.
See,
That's good.
I had the same problem with I had corgis. I've only
Hmm.
ever owned corgis
Hmm.
as far as dogs are concerned, and my
Hmm.
corgi Gus, who by the way was named for the fat mouse and Cinderella.
Hmm.
So his
Yes, guts.
yes, his pedigree name was Octavius Augustus, but for
Hmm.
short we just called him Gus.
Hmm.
um, and I took him to my in-laws' house because I was married at the time. Took him to my in-laws' house, and he
Hmm.
ran out the door into the swamp area behind their house, and he
Oh
disappeared for like
no.
yeah, he disappeared for like a day, and then
Hmm.
the very next day he appeared and he had mud and all this shit all over him.
Hmm.
After that, yeah, after that he really he didn't want to go outside that
Hmm.
was not a fence around the outside.
Hmm. Well,
So it always only takes the one time. So
oh, I love
Yes.
dogs too. If I tried to bring one in the house, my God, I dog sat for my hairdresser a couple of weeks ago, and you thought it. They're all just looking daggers at him, and he's a little Boston Terrorizer Chihuahua mix, so he thinks he's a
Wasn't there?
Rottweiler, and
but
he's standing his ground. They're all staring him down, staring daggers at him. I was like, yeah, whatever. He got on my lap in the recliner, and that's the old man spot usually, and they were just like,
Mhm.
oh.
Oh man.
so back to your earlier point, Lisa. Yeah, growing your audience isn't hard. I would tell you that metaphor, one of our readers, Metaphor,
Mhm.
literally replied to one of my so my biographical posts are
Mhm.
part of a larger text that I wrote 9 years ago, and
Mhm.
I have refused for a long time to publish any of it. And I've had
Ah.
people that have read it and have said, "You really need to publish this. People should read this." And I'm like, "No, I
Mhm.
won't." I wrote that for my
Yeah.
own therapeutic reason. I don't want to share that with anybody. There's shit about my mother in there, which would horrify any
Hmm.
normal individual.
Oh,
But
I get it.
but Miranda kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me, and finally I just said, "Fuck it, I don't give a shit anymore." I'm
Yep. Yep.
52. The woman's been dead since 2014. I don't care.
Oh,
So I
okay.
so the bar post that
Mhm.
I posted like a week and a half ago, the bar post that came out of that text,
Mhm.
and somebody in that thread was like, "You remind me of Jack Kerouac," and I went,
Nice.
Mhm.
"I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not."
I would have. I would definitely have taken it as a compliment, but that's just me.
Because I mean, you know the story about William H. Burroughs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How he had 3 months of heroin and he went and locked himself in a hotel room, and then 3 months later he came out and he had the naked lunch.
Mm-hmm.
like the Naked Lunch manuscript, and then he published it or whatever, which, by the way, is like the one book. I mean, I read like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books a month on average. The Naked Lunch was literally the one novel I picked up. I got a third of the way through, and I said, fuck no, I'm not reading this shit.
Well,
I'm
when I heard
not.
burrows, I thought of Tarzan, so that tells you how stupid some of us are. Different
Well,
burrows. Ugh.
the 60s beatnik, Jack Kerouac, Ginsberg,
Yeah.
like, those guys were fucking crazy. And so when
Yeah.
Mhm.
Metaphor said that, I was like, I don't know if I should be bothered by this or not. I,
Mhm.
oh God, I don't want to be known as the woman that shot up a bunch of drugs and wrote my life's work. That's a horrible idea. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's why, Lisa. That's why I offered. I was like, look, if you wanted to write for us, um, I'd make you a contributor to Wendy the Druid. You
Mhm.
could write shit and then cross post it back to your Substack, and it
Mhm.
would give you exposure to our readers. Um, you know, at the same time, like Miranda and I have already talked through this. So Monday nights, that's going to be Wendy and Miranda talk because
Got it.
Miranda, yeah, Miranda wants that. So if you want that exposure, we can work that out. You know, just as I'm sure Craig is going to say this, Rebecca and the Walkette crew, that's just a huge collection of writers that are contributing to that space. And from my perspective,
Mhm.
if you want a channel in that space, hell, you can have it.
Possibly. I'm still kind of like trying to work out a ton of scheduling issues because, my something's going on at my day job. I actually have a meeting with one of my supervisors. She's not my direct boss, but she contacted me today and she's like, usually I work from home usually like 3 to 4 days a week. And she's like, are you coming in tomorrow? So where I live, I'm just over the New Jersey border in Pennsylvania. And
Right.
to get to the office that I work at, I have to take Route 80, Route 46, and I don't know if anyone, is in the area or has heard the news, but we had an issue with sinkholes just popping up all over. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's been a mess. It's been
That sounds
like
that sounds utterly horrific.
it started a couple months ago. Then they had another one open up, then a second one, and then a third one was just because Route 80 is built over an old mine shaft.
Right.
So yeah, and it's been an absolute mess. Like last week, it took me almost 3 hours to get home, and it's usually an hour and change. So it's been insanity. So I told Nicole, my coworker, I just said, "Yeah, I don't know that I'll be coming to the office." And she's like, "Um, how about if I order lunch, my treat?" She's like, "And I promise you that it's all really good stuff." She's like, "I have to talk to you about an exciting opportunity." So what I think that might mean is that for 2 years I've been contracting with this company, 30 hours a week, which is decent, but I would really like to be on full time, not have to pay my own benefits and taxes and all that crap.
Mhm.
So I fingers crossed, positive thoughts that this is what they're going to tell me, that they're going to hire me full time.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh, okay,
Well,
cool.
how many?
So I
How
have to
far from
ask.
work are you? I gotta ask.
Hour and change. It's not too bad.
No, I mean
Okay.
mile.
Oh, miles? About 40 miles?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So I have to. So can you say what industry it is?
Yeah, so I mean, it actually is a chemical manufacturing company, and I'm a graphic designer.
Oh,
So when I'm not writing unhinged satire, I'm actually drawing pretty stuff on the computer.
so you're the person I need to contract to do all of our logo work or whatever because I can't do
I,
it.
I do logos. I do logos. My specialty is actually presentations like PowerPoint, Prezi, Keynote, all that
Right.
kind of fun stuff. Like that's been kind of my forte for 25 years.
I am in no way an artist whatsoever. I I write things really well and I do it really fast. But I don't know how to do graphic design bullshit in the slightest bit. I'm just not good at it at all. And so, um, if I find somebody who is good at that, hey, let's let's
Yeah.
talk. Let's talk because that's not me. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I still do freelance work. So yeah, if you ever need anybody, we can chat for sure. For sure.
Oh yeah, no, I would expect a Discord DM to pop up in the next 24 hours. 24 hours.
It is all good.
Uh, so okay, well, cool. Well, I, so I would tell you. So on Monday night, Lisa,
Mhm,
and we're going to go later on Monday night. So on Monday
mhm.
night, we're going to go like at 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Okay.
If you got in on that, you and me and Miranda, we could just talk about writing shit on the latter half of that. Because I told Miranda, I'm like, I'm gonna get you on the live, and then I want you to talk for 15 minutes. I'm just gonna sit here, um, and then you can pitch your shit to our to the readership, all you want.
Sounds good.
And
Great.
so yes, if you want that exposure, then sure, I will remind you and everybody else on on Monday that's what that's going to be about. But I do have to ask. So the evening digest shit, because I asked this yesterday, and I just want to be clear. Um, does that work better for you guys? If I'm doing a nightly live for an hour and then I publish a digest of all the bullshit that happened in the day, does that flow a little better for everybody rather than spamming your inbox with all of my random bullshit? I hope. Maybe. Yes, no. Because I'm going to keep doing it because,
Well, I'm going to read it whatever time it shows up. So,
right.
I mean, same.
Uh, so you know, a bunch of the other people, even like the Anna girl, the How We Grow girl or whatever, she told me, she was like, you should just do a digest at the end of the day and then talk about it in your live rather than publish like long diatribes about, you know what, Craig, fuck off. Fuck off, Craig. Hey, Craig, you know what? Go lick a hooker's ass. uh,
A
wait,
beautiful thing.
okay, I'm old, so I'm going to say this. Uh, does anybody remember Maddox's best page in the universe?
yeah, this is a page
Okay.
about me and why everything I like is great. If you disagree with anything on this page, you are wrong. Yes, I loved Maddox.
Okay, so Maddox was brilliant, right? But the reason that I say lick a hooker's ass is,
Yeah.
is because, and it's still out there. Go find it. Go search for it. You'll find it. How to the article's called "How to Kill Yourself Like a Man," and the last entry in the article is it only costs 75 cents. Go lick a hooker's ass, and the first sentence says, "Go find a cheap prostitute and ask about the ass buffet and do it."
The ass buffet. That's it.
And pay her the money, and you'll be dead in a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
And
he
so,
I follow him on Facebook, and he still has some good stuff, but it isn't
wait,
anything like what?
so he's still doing shit?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's kind of low voltage in comparison to what it was back in the day, but yeah. Hmm.
um, I him and my buddy Peter Onspach,
Hmm.
who, if nobody, okay, if you guys know this reference, holy shit. Let me bring up the link on my phone, uh, and Evil Overlord Incorporated. So Peter Ansbach this was like back in the 90s, and a bunch of news group people all banded together. And what we did was we made some submissions for if I was ever going to become an evil overlord, this is the shit that I would do or not do to secure my power of being an evil overlord bent on world, solar system, universal, or whatever. And so, for example, rule number 4, shooting is not too good for my enemies. Number 5, the artifact which is the source of my power will not be kept on the mountains of despair beyond the river of fire guarded by the dragons of eternity. It'll be in a safety deposit box under my bed in the middle of my fucking castle. When I've captured the hero and he says, look, before you kill me, will you at least tell me what you plan to do? I'll say no and then immediately shoot him. I will not include a self-destruct mechanism unless absolutely necessary. If it is necessary, it will not be a large button labeled danger, do not push. The big red button marks do not push will instead spray bullets on anyone stupid enough to push it.
Jeez.
And so, yeah,
Oh my God, that's great.
yeah, eviloverlord.com. Go
Mm.
find it. You'll, yeah, Craig, we need to go back to the fucking Usenet. I'm really okay. All right, my partner is beckoning me to play Overwatch now. So, shut up. I'm not talking about you. Leave it alone. Holy shit, Elaine! No, don't say that. Mirabellis has been at it.
I loved ICQ.
I did too.
ICQ was awesome with the little flower. God, I feel so fucking old. I'm an old
Wait,
woman.
we've already established that I'm older than you, so let's not have it. No, back in the day, the first uh, when gay.com had a separate chat room for women.
I remember that notoriously well. It was a
Really?
shitty Java client too, and you had to refresh it.
Yes. Well, I was a moderator in there, and
What?
Oh
Really?
wow.
mhm. Oh yeah,
Go
I had loads
you.
of fun. hmm
You
I
know I
used
hung
to
out. You know
whenever
you know I hung out on the gay.com channels, right?
in the chat house for women.
Oh no, that was before.
Yeah,
That was way before I was
this was
trans.
the late '90s. Yeah, but I used to.
Yeah.
That was when you would, you put your cursor on somebody and you could get them out of the room. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
if they came back and didn't behave, you could ban them.
Yep.
And I had a stick about it. I would always ask them when they were starting to, pop off or whatever. I'd ask them if they'd ever had a flying lesson, and they'd say no. Hang on, motherfucker.
Nobody should ever use the ban hammer unnecessarily.
Oh, I didn't.
Right.
We were supposed to kick first, and then if they came back in and
Yeah, you're supposed to kick first,
and then
and then
ban.
ban if not.
hmm
Wait, so does that mean that you guys know about Godwin's law?
I don't know. Do I?
I
Holy
I know I've
shit,
don't know
heard
if
of
I
it.
did.
Godwin's. Oh gosh.
I've heard of it, and I can't remember what it is.
Okay, so Godwin's law says that um, that um, as an internet argument continues,
Mm.
the probability that somebody in the thread or the discussion or the chat will liken somebody to being Hitler or a Nazi becomes 1, after which the person who has made the reference immediately loses the argument and the argument's over.
Okay.
I
So,
find that useful.
yeah,
Yeah.
I, that I, Lane, were you around when I did the rules of the internet? Yeah, I think
I think I
I think,
was.
yeah, I did the rule, and so like, yeah, Godwin's law really probably should be one of the rules of the internet. Wait, everybody knows what Rule 34 is, right?
Rule 34.
Holy fucking shit, really? Okay. Rule 34 says if it exists, there's porn of it somewhere on the internet.
Oh, well,
Yo, this
that's
is not wrong. This is not wrong. I can, yeah.
Basically, and I'm just going to tell you, furries sort of prove that.
mhm.
The furry
Well,
fandom, that completely proves Rule 34. I can't believe it. There's people, okay, here you go, like Rule 48, the cake is a lie. We all know the cake is a
It's a
lie.
lie.
Cake is a
Yes.
lie. It's always a lie, right? Portal, fuck you, Portal. I want my goddamn cake. What the fuck? Oh, I love talking old geeky culture to people.
oh yeah. Yeah, I started out with a Juno email address. Remember that?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
God, of course.
oh, dude, I was on Excite. I was on
Yeah.
fucking excite.com.
And I was
I
always
hate,
off the. I liked Netscape Navigator. When Internet
Yep.
Explorer came in, I hated it.
And I
And
thought
then
I
I
was hot
liked
shit when I figured out Netscape because I was, all my friends were using like AOL, CompuServe, and I'm like, all you need is a browser. The AOL shit's an unnecessary interface that you're paying extra for. All you need is an internet connection and a browser. And I'm trying to explain this to people, and they're just looking at me, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like,
yeah, like, you're, okay, you're a dumbass.
"You've fallen for marketing. I get it, but you're making your life harder than it needs to be."
See, I had two phone lines in my house because I was shotgunning my modems.
Mhm.
So I connected both of my modems because
Yes.
I was a Quake 1 and Quake 2 player. I mean, I played in
Oh
Quake
wow.
2 servers.
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
a Quake 2 like CPL competitor back in the late 90s or whatever. And so yeah, my pings were always like way lower than everybody else's because I shotgunned my modems and used them on my system or whatever. Gosh, I feel old now. you know, like my teenagers have never heard the modem noise.
uh, yeah.
That's pretty bad. Then
Holy
again,
shit, no, not Fox Pro. Fox Pro was databases for people that were stupid.
well, okay. I was really just being sarcastic, but um, no, Firefox is what I was thinking of. Firefox, the search engine.
Yeah.
That's not Fox Pro. I'm an idiot. Sorry. I mean,
Yeah,
shit. I
Fox.
remember when I was 22 years old and I was a secretary and I got an IBM Wheelwriter 3 typewriter.
Yeah, of course.
And I
Oh
thought I was
shit.
hot
Those
shit.
things you could drop a fucking nuke
That
on
was
those
state of
things
the art, man.
and they would still work. Holy shit, yeah. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Yeah. She really wants me to come play, so I gotta go. All right,
Oh,
so
it's that. Oh, yeah, that's really what she wants.
I fucking hate you, Elaine. I hate you. I'm gonna post this shit and I'm gonna back
Fall in
out.
line. Listen, I got
You're
great plans. On Saturday morning, I'm going to the sidewalk and I'm planning on telling them that because they'll know. Yeah, they always seem to find out when somebody. So I'm going to tell the protesters that I heard from hell and that Easter's being canceled this year because they found the body. So,
Oh my god.
I know. I'm incorrigible.
yeah, completely. I love you both.
I love you
So,
too.
We love
uh,
you.
yeah, I'm just gonna fall out. I love you all. Please be safe. We'll have live again tomorrow.
Okay.
Everyone, everyone, be safe.
Okay.
You too.